All right, now pleased to be joined by three guys that are all conference players of the year, and they came back to their respective schools with eligibility left. This is a special edition of the Field of 68, and now I'm joined by, we'll start with, in the upper left-hand corner, Javon Garcia, the Southland Player of the Year from McNeese State. Then we got Amari Monroe down in the bottom left from Quinnipiac, and last but not least, Tyler Tejada from Towson. All three of you guys, players of the year again, Southland, the MAC, the CAA, and you decided to come back to school. First of all, I want to I don't know if I should commend you guys, but I kind of am. I kind of am because it's unique. You were the only three that have decided to do this. We know 2,500 players went in the portal. A lot of them they didn't even have eligibility left. They went in anyway. You guys have eligibility left. You didn't. Well, one of you went in the portal and came back. We'll talk about that a little bit later, Amari. Actually, we'll start with you. Let's start with Amari. Again, from Quinnipiac, Player of the Year last year in the MAC. Started your career at Wofford with a semi-forgettable freshman season at Wofford, and then decided to transfer and have absolutely blown up the last couple of years at Quinnipiac. I'm going to start with the why. It's a fairly simple question, but obviously all you guys left some money on the table. Amari, why did you choose to come back to Quinnipiac instead of you put your name in the portal and you went through the process? Why'd you come back?
The easy answer is, I'm comfortable here. 2 years ago, I'm coming into Quinnipiac with, no confidence, really not loving basketball how I used to after having that tough freshman year. So they kind of just let me grow here. I had the opportunity to enter the portal last year after having a, pretty good season, making second team all conference. And last year I didn't even enter the portal at all. Everybody expected me to, but I just came back, announced it, and killed all the rumors. And then this year, after winning Player of the Year, I kind of felt like I, had the ability to, at least go see what was out there. And after talking with my family and even my coaches, they thought it was a good decision, to at least go see what was out there. So, that's what I did, and after being in the portal for some time, it was kind of just um, this is where I've grown the most, and this is where I fell in love with the game again. This is where, I found myself. And, I think after having just, one great year, it wasn't the best decision for me to just up and leave, somewhere where I kind of just found myself. So I kind of bet on myself, and um, trusted my staff, my teammates and, the community. I have my coach's kids sending me happy birthday videos, and my coach is doing everything for my family, so this is literally like home to me. This is my second home. And all the money is great, but the connections and relationships I made, you can't put a price tag on that. So I kind of, like I said, bet on myself, where I'm betting on myself to have another great year, an even better year than I had last year, and with another year eligibility, get a degree here, and then my coaches are kind of pushing me out next year regardless. So, um,
This is it. Yeah.
yeah, this is the last ride for sure. So, I end up going playing somewhere next year. I don't know where, but with the degree under my belt, and another chance to, make history here. Bringing Quinnipiac to his first ever March Madness appearance. That's definitely something I want to do. And kind of just be a legend here at Quinnipiac. Do things I've never been done. Break a ton of records and have fun while doing it.
Tyler, you started at Towson 2 years. You took a jump this year, one Player of the Year. You guys won the regular season. Little bit different story than Amari, but I'm curious, when you hear him talk about those things, how much of that resonates with you?
Uh, Definitely a lot. It definitely played a big role in why I decided to come back. As Amari said, you can't put a price on those connections and relationships that you make with people, and I made those type of relationships here. Obviously, with my teammates, especially Dylan Williamson. Me and him talked a lot during the process about what we were gonna do, what we thought, and definitely for my coaching staff, especially Parfait Bate, he's like more than a coach to me, like a role model, father figure. So, talking to him a lot about what I thought I should do and everything. So that definitely played a big role in me coming back.
Javon, yours is even different because you got a new head coach. So nobody would have blamed you. I mean, nobody would have blamed you for being like, hey, listen, I'm going in the I'm out of here. My coach, Will Wade, left. He's the guy who kind of got me here. In your road, let's face it, you started at UMass a couple of years, and you went to junior college for a year, then went to McNeese, won Southland Player of the Year. Could have made some more money, certainly. Why? Why'd you decide to stay?
I feel like my decision was like family related, like his family, like the guys were saying before, like no price tag on relationships here and a chance to make it three-peat here at McNeese and go back to March Madness is like special. Like and my guy DJ, we talked all day just about the situation and coming back and just giving back to the community because they do a lot for us and coming to the game, showing support, and it's just like it's big here. So that's about it.
All right, I want to know from each one of you what the reaction was. Amari, you start. The reaction around you, whether it was your circle or just your buddies, being like, dude, what are you doing? How are you not going to go number one high major, right? Where like, I mean, you hear it from some of your boys, right? It's charter flights, it's the meals, the facilities, some of that stuff. And then just the NIL money that you hear. And I'm not saying you guys are going to make $4 million if you got in like some of these dudes, $3 million, $4 million, but you would have made a good amount more than if you stayed at Quinnipiac, correct?
For sure. Well, first of all, the fan base here is crazy. From the students, I'm going to class and, when I'm in the portal, everyone's like, don't leave, why are you leaving? And,
Yeah.
I'm getting a ton of DMs. So like, I feel the love from our student base. But, we would go out after the season, and the whole time I'm out is always about the portal, who I'm talking to, why am I leaving, all this and that. And then, as I'm in it, it's kind of like students trying to get me to come back. And then when I finally announced because I had dropped the top six, a few days before
Who was
I
it? I
announced I was coming
forget. Tell me
back.
who
It
it
was
was.
Kansas, Rutgers, Pitt, UConn, and Ole Miss.
Okay.
Um, and there's a couple other interviews and articles I did, and obviously, like I almost went to Rutgers, but then I found out I was gonna have another year, so it kind of looked weird, dropping the top six and then literally 2, 3 days later coming back to Quinnipiac. So,
Yeah.
but again, no one believed it was true. When I announced I was coming back, everyone thought it was like a late April Fool's joke, or
Yeah.
I'm getting a ton of calls and DMs and like what are you doing, or oh are you serious, and a bunch of stuff like that. And I didn't answer any of it for the first couple of days because like obviously it was fresh, it was still brand new and this is something I never experienced before. So um, there was a lot of hate comments and people just kind of trying to shape my career for me. But I told like after it died down a little bit, I did a couple of interviews and I kind of just said, the money's great, but like whether I stayed or left, I'm making a lot more money than a lot of people my age, regardless. So
Yep.
I'm
True.
blessed either way, and like I said, next year, I'll be able to make money regardless. So
Yep.
like I said, I'm playing the long game, betting on myself, but definitely it was shocking to a lot of people, even our fan base, when I announced I was coming back. But I felt the love, and again, that's a major reason why I did come back to begin with.
Tyler, what your parents, what type of advice are they giving you through this process? I mean, listen, I know if this were my daughter, let's say for argument, I got a 21-year-old daughter. If she were going through this, it would be hard for me. It would. It'd be hard for me not to say, hey, you know what? You got to look at this. This is, again, may not be life-changing from 3 or 4 million, but it's significant difference going from any mid-major school. I don't care who it is, even if they can top out, right, compared to some of these high majors that might have been interested in you. And you never took the step Amari did to put your name in the portal even.
Uh, my mom, it was definitely overwhelming for my mom because she like we both never experienced this before, and me and my mom are very close, so we kind of like went through like everything together. We went through the process together, and it was like a little overwhelming for her just dealing with like all the phone calls and like everything that people were saying. So she like the main thing for her was just she didn't want me to be taken advantage of, and
Yeah.
she just wanted me to go where I'm happy and where I'm comfortable. So that played yeah, that was pretty much it.
Was there, like, do you remember your buddies? Like, did any of your
Yeah,
buddies hitting you up like, what the hell are you
definitely
doing?
definitely got mixed reactions.
Uh,
Um people in my close circle, they were happy for me regardless. They just want me to be happy, want me to be comfortable with what I'm doing. But definitely caught a lot of heat from a lot of people from all over back home. Even some people around here were just like just asking why. And I had a little there's a little situation off the court with dealing with certain people in my circle where
really?
things got a little shaky. Where
Little heated?
also, yeah, also played a little influence in my decision.
Really?
But yeah, so I definitely got mixed reactions. But the people in my close circle, my mom, everybody wanted me to do what was best for me. So that's the only opinions I care about.
Was part of it too, Tyler? The opportunity. You'll have eligibility left after this year, so you could still. I know all of you want to get to the league, right? I mean, that's obviously the goal
Yeah.
after this year is to try to get to the league if you can, or maybe play pro, whatever it is. But having a year left, did that make it a little bit easier with the decision, or no?
I didn't really look into it like that. I just looked as what would be the best for my career for this next year, this
Yeah.
next step.
Yep.
So it didn't really matter to me about the eligibility factor or anything. But I love Towson. I love it here. Like the place is great, the fans are great, everybody's been great to me, and I like what Mario was saying, like well, me wanting to be like a legend here, wanting to be the best player here, that like you can't put a price on that.
Pat Scarry, by the way, told me I'm not even going to recognize you when I see you next time. That you've been working as hard as he's had anybody work over this past off season. So that's good to hear. Javon, what was you remember what the reaction was? Because you didn't, right? You didn't put your name in the portal. You didn't do any of that? Or did you put it after the coaching change? Did you put it in the portal? I can't remember.
No, sir, I didn't put my name in the portal. Like everyone was saying, like the fans, they all asked why, but I just told them it's just family here. Like like the guys were saying, like the legacy part is bigger than any price tag or anything. Like just the fans and some of my friends had different emotions. They
They
said
think you were crazy? Like, what's the wild? Do you remember like the wildest call you got, or when you saw somebody? Is there anybody that came up to you and was just like, "What the hell are you thinking? Like, how could you not, go make any of that, or not really?"
I mean, it was some calls here and there saying like different places I could have been, made more money, but like I said, like the family here and the community here, just the support here is amazing, and I wouldn't change that for nothing.
Well, I feel like too, Amari. Like sometimes again, it's like they always say, right? The grass isn't always greener somewhere else. And it's like you guys have great situations. You know what to expect. You've already done it there. So it's a little bit, some of these guys that are bouncing schools every year, like I can't imagine what that's like to have to do. And you guys have done, a couple of you, Javon, you've done it. I mean, this is your third stop. Amari, this is your second stop. You've done it before. But like, is there something to be said about like, hey, you know what? I got a good role here. And you're going to be the guy this year. This is like the first time you were the guy last year, but I don't think people knew you were going to be the guy going into the year. Like
For sure.
now that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, like I said it before, I mean, like it really wasn't my team last year. I had vets that were here before me, with Savion and Paul and Lex, they were here before I was. So that was kind of still their team. And I kind of just added to that. But like now this year, it's like Amari and the Bobcats, it's my team. If anything Bobcat related, it's my name attached to it. But like that's what I wanted. I wanted to have that leadership role, and I think me coming back, we have a young team coming in. I mean, I'm the longest tenured guy here,
Don't
and
you have
then
like 9 new guys or something?
yeah, it's something crazy like
Right.
that. We have three guys that are above 21, and the rest are either 19 or 20. So we have a young team, but they're very mature, but I definitely wanted to take that leadership role, and kind of be a leader for these guys and whatever heat comes with it, I'm ready to take it. But like it's gonna be fun, I mean, I haven't been the leader of a team since what, high school, and
Yeah.
even in high school, I wasn't the oldest guy on my team, so I'm definitely excited, and I'm happy with every decision I made up to this point, even after having a tough freshman year, I mean, it all led me here to Quinnipiac, so I don't regret anything. So
Tyler, I don't know if this affected your decision at all. Probably not. But, Timberlake leaves a couple years ago and he goes to Kansas and he didn't have the greatest experience. Like most guys just look at like one guy. Like one guy transfers and they make it. They're always going to look at that a lot of times and say, well, you know what? He made it, so I can do it. And again, every situation is different. But did that give you a little bit of pause at all to, hey, I can go to a high major, but you know what? I saw a guy do it from my program and it didn't work out maybe the way that any of us thought it would.
No, that didn't really play any effect on me in any way. My decision making was just based off how I felt, what was best for me in my career and best for my family. I'm really big on loyalty. Like loyalty and family is everything for me. So like when I start something, I want to finish it where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, did
but that
did did
that didn't really
also,
affect me.
and I assume for each one of you, but probably for you more than, well, all of you, I guess, in a different sense, even though Tyler, you started your career at Towson. I assume you guys were all overlooked, right? You're all overlooked coming out of high school. So how
Yeah.
much did that loyalty of like, hey, you know what? Pat Scarry and that staff, they saw something in me that everybody else kind of said, hey, you know what? No, especially all the high majors overlooked all three of you guys. So how much of that plays into it? That loyalty of like they saw something in me that other high majors didn't. So you know what? I'm gonna stick with them.
Yeah, definitely. Me being overlooked the way I was in high school, where, Coach Gary and Coach Parr, they took a chance on me to bring me in here and try to make an immediate impact. And I'd say it worked out pretty well for me so far. So, just always having that in the back of my mind that, they took a chance on me and they were loyal to me, so I could come back, take a chance on them and be loyal to them right back.
Javon, what was it like the first meeting with your new coach, Bill Armstrong, who was kind of, I don't want to say picked by Will Wade, but he and Heath Schroeder, the AD, it was pretty much known to some degree that Armstrong was going to be the next guy if Will left. Um, was that a meeting where he even had to convince you, or was it almost like, hey, you know what, man, you don't even need to give me the sales pitch. I'm in. I'm sticking around.
I mean, the meme with Coach Bill was amazing. Like his thought process and how he goes about things is just the real reason why I came back. Like Bill's a big guy. He's a guy on like he's big on offense. So like it's gonna like help my game in the future. And we're gonna run the same defensive schemes because he was with Coach Wade at LSU. So I feel like he just like Wade, but just a lot calmer.
Yeah, he is calmer, no doubt about that. He is definitely calmer. Most people are calmer than Will Wade. Amari, was there anything that you needed to hear from the coaching staff before you decided to come back? Or I mean, I'm
I
sure
mean,
they were giving you their pitch, but probably allowing you to some space to make
for
sure, like, because it's hard. I mean, I think all these guys, obviously, they want you guys back, but they also understand, like, hey, if there's a ton more money out there, we're not going to stand in your way.
Yep. Um, they fully supported me either decision I made. So obviously they told me the pros of staying and the cons of staying as well. But once I made that decision to enter the portal, they were fully supportive. We stayed in contact throughout the whole process. Um, and we met a few times. And they together a little presentation that kind of stuck with me. And I think
Why?
that presentation. So it was just like um, the one part of the presentation that definitely caught me was they put like a edit of a jersey in the rafters, and it was the only jersey up there.
Really?
And next to that jersey was March Madness 2025, 26, and obviously it was the only banner up there because they've never been to March Madness before.
Yeah.
So um, it took me some time to, to really think about it. But then I told myself like, you can really be a legend here. You can put two of those banners up there, one of them being your lone jersey. Um, I didn't tell him that, that's what kind of led me to coming back, but it
Yeah.
definitely played a part in it. And it's a lot, I mean, growing up as a kid, everybody wants to play high major, and you know, once you really kind of see its reality, you really look at the bigger picture, and I think the bigger picture for me is just being a leader of a Division I team, no matter what level it is, and um, just having that attention on you, because I could have left, and my numbers definitely could have flunked, and I could have had, an off year and then I'd have been stuck there like, all right, what do I do now? But again, I'm betting on myself and my work ethic and my skill that I could have an even better year this year, and make more noise than I would have if I left, and I think I got a ton of attention just by staying, and once people kind of see why I stayed, and I perform, they'll definitely make more noise.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's something where, again, by staying, I think a lot of people will give you guys probably more pub and pay attention to you a little bit more, right? I mean, you're all players of the year in your respective leagues, but what you've done is so unique in a standpoint that, like, again, you look at whatever numbers it was, I don't remember the total tally, but it just felt like everybody was transferring. It felt like there needed to be a portal for those of you that stayed instead of those who left. I mean, seriously, it was so. I mean, it's really hard to keep track of the changing. I mean, even for all of you guys. I mean, you've all got brand new teams, and nobody would have. I don't think anybody would have faulted you if you left at
Yeah, I
this
mean,
point. They kind of
yeah.
expected it, right? I mean, it
Yeah, I
was.
was definitely expected to
Yeah,
leave, and then again, I did enter the portal, I really thought I was going to leave, but then
yeah,
there's a ton of factors that led me to come back, and I could be wrong. I don't want to say something and be wrong, but I don't think there's ever been a player in the MAC that got back-to-back Player of the Year awards, and
really.
I think I want to be the first person to do that. So that'd be pretty cool, on top of leading them to their first ever March Madness appearance. So
Tyler, same thing for you. I mean, you got won the regular season last year in a really good league, and obviously got upset in the CAA tournament. How much did that stick with you? Like, if you had to say the number one reason you came back, and then where that fit on the scale of reasons, where would that have been?
Uh, Definitely number one.
Yeah,
Right after that game, no one knows this, but after the game, we got back to the hotel, I called my mom and I said, I'm coming back.
really,
I didn't
really.
want to, I didn't want to
Yeah,
go out like that, especially the amazing running year that we had, where like it was very electric. Like you could feel the energy on campus and the arena, like everywhere. Like everyone was like we're gonna like this is the year, like we're gonna do this. So coming up short obviously was tough, but it I feel like I feel like we needed that. Like we needed that
yeah,
motivation. I feel like we were all starting to get a little too comfortable, even myself, especially. So I feel like that, like just having that in the back of my mind is now pushing like even harder. And going off of what Amari said, that I think the last person to win back-to-back Player of the Year in CAA was Strada,
yeah,
I think,
yeah.
and Strada, Pasha,
Yep,
and then last person to do it for Towson was Benjamin.
yep.
So I wanna be next in line and do that too.
What was Scary's pitch to you? Did he do anything crazy? Because he's got it in him. He's got it in him to do some crazy shit. So I want to hear like what's the thing that he did that you were even like, wow, all right, that's pretty good. He got me.
He definitely put together a nice presentation for me and my mom. He talked about obviously the pros of coming back and the cons of it. He broke down a lot of the things that that I did well throughout the year, and then things that I also needed to improve on. And he also was able to get feedback from a few NBA teams
Yep.
and what they thought. So that also played a factor where like I want to, tighten up these loose ends, really get my all around game right and be able to do that here where I know I'm going to have the opportunity to be showcased and do that.
Javon, with you, you're different. I mean, you went to the tournament. You've been in the tournament twice. So it's a little bit different for you than these guys. These guys got that bitter taste in their mouth of like, hey, I want to get there. I want to get there. Again, you talked about, comfortability as much as anything. How much of it too is like, hey, you know what? Like, I can always come back here. Because I feel like that's one thing that's missing with a lot of these guys, right? They bounce around, and maybe you might do 8 months in a place. And Amari, you might be there a year from now. You could be there a year from now where it's 8 months in a place. But right now, for you guys, all of you, and Javon, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, is like, hey, you got a place when you're done playing ball professionally, you got a place to come back to that you're going to be able to call home, and they're going to take you in and probably help you in your post-playing career.
And that's a big thing. Like I talked to the community out here about. They said if you ever need a job, you could come back here and they first in line anywhere in Lake Charles. And going off of what Amari said, like I want to do like with no one I think done here back-to-back player of the year.
Yep.
And I feel like we do also have a bitter taste in our mouth. Like we went to the tournament, but it wasn't enough. Like we won our first game ever.
You did pretty well. Wait. You did pretty damn well. I know you wanted to win at least one more, but it was a pretty good year and a pretty good win in the tournament.
Yeah, it was a pretty good win, but like our guys are hungry here. We want to go back and win more than one game, and hopefully Sweet 16, Final Four, Elite Eight, somewhere in there.
Any of you have were there days? I'm not gonna like. I don't want to use the word regrets because again, I want to applaud you guys, and I want that to be clear here. Okay, there's a reason I'm doing this with you guys. I love what you did, but I also feel like there had to be a day when you woke up at some point after making this decision, being like, "The hell did I do? Like, what? I can't believe I left this money on the table." Amari, did you ever have that feeling, or honestly?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, there's multiple days where I woke up and I'm like, dang, I could have been living like the life of a freaking, who knows, but
Yep.
making almost seven figures, at 22 years old. I mean, but then I look at it long term and I'm like, okay, either way, you're going to make this money next year, and you staying down this year, is going to put you in a way better position next year than you would have been this year. So, I really believe, you know, that if I have another great season, I can be one of the top transfers in the portal next year,
Yep.
or I'm able to have an action price. Who knows what it will be, but definitely more than what it was this year. And I'd even go into the portal this year having a asking price because again, it's completely different from when I was in high school. I mean, I had people asking like, "What's your number?" and I had no idea what it meant. And I was offered more than I even expected to be offered. So. Again, I think if I just stay down one more year, and however this year goes, I think I'll be in a way better position next year for sure.
Yeah, you bet on yourself. You bet on yourself. That's what you're doing here. Tyler, do you have those mornings where you woke up and you wanted to call Scary back and be like, "Hey, can I have a do-over here?"
Honestly, no, I don't think I've gotten any of those. I don't. I'm one that I try. I don't really live with regrets. I think everything happens for a reason. So every decision I make, I can live with the whatever comes with it, good or bad.
That's
I
cool.
knew
No, that's
I knew
great.
I knew from the moment I told him I was coming back that I was all in and locked in on the goal that we have this year. Again to March Madness.
How old are each one? So, Amari, how old are you?
Yeah, I just turned 22.
Tyler,
I turned 20 in February.
Javon,
24.
24. So you're the old guy of the group. You're but it's true. Like, it's maturity. Part of this, guys, is maturity because a lot of guys at your ages aren't making this decision. Javon, did you have any? It sounds like you had no regrets whatsoever.
Didn't have any regrets at all.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna come back here. The community, I said, just it's lovely out here, and they show love to us. Come to the game, support, and it's like family. Like he said, uh, William said, like you never want to have no regrets. Like I always knew, like growing up, my mom always told me, like you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. You gotta be all in, have no regrets.
I feel like the three of you now, you didn't know each other before this. I feel like now you got to be like checking each other's box scores throughout the year and like you've got a bond. No, but it's cool, man. Like all three of you guys are laughing and smiling at it, but like this is so rare. Like I did a story, I think probably 5 years ago. Same type of deal. There were like 3 or 4 player of the years and they decided to stay. And that was rare then. And there was no NIL. Think about that. There was no NIL 4 or 5 years ago when I did it, and it was rare. Think about it now, like how rare this is for all you guys to stay, to be 100% bought in, which you guys obviously are going to be. I mean, that's the great part, too, is like some guys, I say this all the time, when they go for the money, it's a little bit different, right? You're there for the money, especially some of the guys that they were playing an extra COVID year. Like they didn't really want to be in college. They came back for the extra year for this, right?
Mhm.
But they told me there were days, plenty of days when they would go to practice and be like, man, I don't really want to be here. You know, I want to be playing pro somewhere. I just came back for the money. For you guys, I would assume like the ownership you're going to have in this program now, Amari, this year is going to be more than any, same thing, Tyler, Javon, like leadership, ownership, all of that because you're there because you want to be there in the worst way.
100%. I mean, like you said, there's guys who left for the money, and they show up to the gym sometimes and are dreading being at the gym. I show up to the gym and it's June, what, 4th, and like I'm excited to get to work, and it's easy to say that for the first week or two of summer. But I had the same mindset last year, um, we fell short in the semifinal as well, back-to-back years now, regular season championships, back-to-back years. So I still have like that taste in my mouth that, I'm super close, and
Yeah.
maybe this is where I fell short. The summertime is where I fell short. So this is where I have to take that next leap and, just kind of separate myself. So I'm chomping at the bit every day this summer, and um, it feels like it's a long, long
Yeah.
ways away,
Yeah.
November 4th or whatever, but it comes quick. I'm a senior now in college. I know how quick it comes. I know it'll be here sooner than you know. So every day I just show up, and I work on everything I need to work on now, and not even just basketball skills, leadership skills as
Yep.
well. Because
Yep.
I know when we're down 20 in a game, there's been plenty of times where we were down 20 and we came back, but it's just because we stayed resilient. We stayed even keel, and we didn't fold. So everything that I took from last year, that I could have worked on, this is what I'm working on now.
All right. Last thing I have for each one of you. We'll go around the horn here, starting with Tyler. Give me, if you've got any advice for anybody in a similar situation, which is so many guys, right? So many guys. I mean, again, not so many who won Player of the Year, but guys that are making big decisions whether to transfer. And I know, again, everybody's situation is different. But is there something that you would tell some of these guys that are going to go through it?
Um, I would definitely say, like trust yourself, listen to yourself, trust and listen to the people in your circle and around you and just do what's best for you and your career. Money's great, the money's always gonna be there, but money isn't everything. So
I love it.
just,
Love it.
stay true to yourself and follow what you think is best for you.
Javon?
I'll just say like I'm big on loyalty, like Tyler is. Whoever is loyal to you, they're gonna give back to you. Make sure you loyal to them. Like that's a big piece. Like I feel like guys be transferring just for, like you said, the money, and the situation doesn't work out. So if the program is not loyal to you, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, plenty of people with money aren't happy. I'll say that. Plenty of people, money does not always bring happy. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, but not always. Amari, close us out with
Um,
with your thoughts on that.
I mean, definitely something that helped me was writing everything down. I wrote the pros and cons down to leaving, and I wrote the pros and cons down to staying. And I feel like that helped me a lot. And just also to just keep your circle small. Obviously, once people see your names out there, everyone's going to want a piece, because like I said, it's a business now. It's all about money. So there's going to be a ton of people saying they represent you or saying they'll help you.
Yeah. Yeah, there
Um,
are. A lot of
yeah,
agents. Hey, a
yeah,
lot of agents out there trying to get to all you. Is that
100%.
was that one of the hard? I know I said I'd wrap this, but I do want to maybe go around the horn on this.
Yeah, that definitely might have been the hardest piece. Knowing that my circle was small, but that there was like a ton of agents saying like they represent me and to make sure everything ran through them. So that's kind of why I kind of try to get out of there quick because it started to get a little dark and that's the scariest piece of it because you don't know who's saying what. So like you said, just definitely keep your circle small, and then practice what you preach. If you preach loyalty, then show that.
And I'll give you another piece of advice. I'll give you one related to agents. Don't pay 20%. All right, don't pay 20%. They ain't worth it. I mean, unless they're getting you millions and millions, and even that, like they shouldn't be charging 20%. So I don't know if hopefully you guys don't have anybody charging you 20% right now, but if you do, renegotiate that shit, please. Tyler, anything with the agents that you feel like you learned through the process?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of double, like two-faced people out there. People that are in it for the wrong reasons. Trying to take advantage of you, and just that whole process was new for me, especially because I never like experienced anything like this before. So it definitely got a little stressful at times, just trying to juggle all that and deal with it.
Yeah, there's so many. That's the hard part. There's so many, and they come at you, and you probably feel like you have to make a decision so quickly.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Javon? Is it like you don't
Hard
know
to
what
figure
to
out
do?
who's
You got to
real,
have
who's fake.
somebody. Yeah, you got to have somebody that you trust that can help you, but you're going through it for the first time. So it's like, who do you lean on, right? Like even your coaches, to be honest, they don't know a lot of these agents because they popped up lately. They're not, you know, it used to be where again the agents would only represent, there'd only be a certain amount of them, and they'd be repping the NBA guys for the most part. Or when you finished college completely, then you would deal with some of these guys and their overseas agents, things like that. But anyway, all right, listen, I've taken up enough of your time. I know, Tyler, I think you got to get back to a workout. So I don't want to get you in trouble with Scary because then I'm gonna feel the wrath of Scary. I already feel it. Trust me. I don't need any more of that. But listen, like I said, I want to get back to how I started, which is I want to commend you guys. You made a mature decision. I know not everybody probably agrees with it, but I love it. I do. I love it because I love mid-major basketball, number one, and I love guys who bet on themselves. And all you guys, Javon, Amari, Tyler, betting on yourselves. I can't wait to see what you do next year. And